Good evening, everyone, and welcome to this presentation in respect of the Masters in Science and International Accounting with Analytics that's available on the McGee campus of Ulster University. My name is Claire Scott McAteer, and I'm a lecturer in Accounting and Taxation at Ulster University, and I am the course director for the MSc International Accounting with Analytics. And as you can see from the header slide here, we are offering the MSc International Accounting with Analytics on a full-time and on a part-time basis. And I'll talk to you a little bit more about, the flow of the part-time and the full-time in due course in today's presentation. So what are we going to cover today? Well, thank you all for coming to this webinar. And hopefully you will get answers to some of the questions that you have in your head with regard to maybe studying the MSc International Accounting with Analytics. If you have any questions at all, please pop them into the chat function and I'll gladly pick those up throughout and indeed at the end if need be. And I'll give you my contact details at the end as well. But hopefully we're going to cover today why you should consider studying the MSc International Accounting with Analytics with us at Ulster University, what you will learn on the programme, importantly, how will you be taught and how will we support you get through the MSc successfully, and then I'll just finish up by talking about the future career prospects. So I suppose just starting with then why study International Accounting with Analytics? Well, I suppose it's worth saying at the outset that the International Accounting with Analytics Master's Programme does require you to have some level of accounting and or business with accounting modules at undergraduate level or some level of exemptions already from the professional bodies. So if you've got any queries with regard to your specific previous studies, please feel free to get in touch with me. But certainly coming into the International Accounting with Analytics Master's Programme, there is a need for you to have some of the accounting knowledge already acquired at undergraduate or through prior learning. Okay, so there's lots of benefits of studying International Accounting with Analytics. I should say at the outset as well, I am a lecturer, as I said, in Accounting and Taxation at Ulster University. However, I am also a chartered accountant, and I'm somebody that 20 years ago I did a master's in accounting in order to help me get a head start in my accounting career. And what do I mean by that? Well, really, if you know about the accounting profession, you know that you've got a lot of exams to do in order to become a qualified accountant, be that a chartered accountant like myself, or a chartered or certified accountant via ACCA, for example. So doing a master's programme in International Accounting with Analytics will give you a head start in your accounting career because it enables you to get more exemptions from the professional bodies as well as getting a master's degree. And that's really, really beneficial because I have to say 20 years ago, whenever I was doing my MSc in accounting in order to get my exemptions from the professional bodies, they were called Prof 3 back then, but at that stage, I suppose I was focused on getting the exemptions, so I had less exams to do whenever I went out into a training contract, out into practice. But as I progressed through my career, the ability or the fact that I had a master's degree as well helped me greatly in terms of, for example, getting into the university as a lecturer. So I worked for years in practice, worked in Dublin for Big Four, worked up in the Northwest then for medium-sized practice, but then moved into the university. So the International Accounting with Analytics programme is really beneficial because it helps you get the exemptions from the professional bodies as well as you getting that postgraduate, that master's degree on your CV. Now, I suppose the unique nature of the International Accounting with Analytics Masters is that it not only gives you the underlying accounting knowledge that you need to get the head start in your accounting career and get extra exemptions, but with the analytics in the title, that means that you will get practical understanding of and actual expertise in the use of analytics tools. And analytics and business analytics is becoming more and more important every day in accounting. So really, from feedback from prospective employers, that was a key thing that they were interested in having graduates coming out with, was an understanding and expertise in data analytics. And I'll talk a bit more about that as we go through the slides. In terms of your lecturers on the MSc program at the Ulster University Business School at McGee, you're being taught by experts. You're being taught by either chartered accountants or chartered certified accountants, and also you're being taught by readers and teaching fellows in business analytics. So you're really being taught by people who are at the forefront of their profession and researching in the area of data analytics and business analytics. At McGee, we're well known for being very supportive in terms of our student experience. So you will be, undertaking, a difficult program. It's not a light program by any means. The fact that it's accredited by professional bodies means that there's a certain amount of rigor that has to be built into the program for the professional bodies to give their accreditation. So it is, it is a difficult program, but you will be studying all the modules that I'm going to talk about in a supportive environment. Okay, and in terms of then just how you will be taught, and whenever you come onto the program, you'll not only have your lectures and your seminars, but you'll have the benefit of the links that your lecturers and the department has with the industry bodies and with employers in the local area. And I should say that this program has been validated in conjunction with a number of local and national practices who have all fed in to the various modules and the details that's contained within the program, so that we can make sure that while you're studying the Masters with us in International Accounting and with Analytics at McGee, that you are also getting the skills that the employers want you to have. And that's only going to benefit you when it comes to your professional, to your graduate positions. So in terms of, why study an MSc in International Accounting with Analytics, well, as I've already said, in terms of the accounting profession, most students, I would imagine, that will come onto this program are looking to become professionally qualified accountants, and therefore your mind will be firmly set on the exams that you need to do whenever you finish your university studies. And those exams you will be doing while you're working full time, and you'll be doing your studying in the evening and at the weekends. So it's really in your interest to make life easier when you graduate, that you have less exams to do from the professional body perspective. And looking at Chartered Accountants Ireland in particular, so to become a Chartered Accountant, if you finish the Masters in International Accounting with Analytics, when you qualify, when you graduate from the MSc, you will only have 2 final admitting exams to sit to become qualified. So you only have 2 more exams, 2 4.5-hour papers that you will have to sit in order to enable you to become a chartered accountant. Now, in conjunction with those exams, you will have to do a training contract as well. And that training contract, because you would have done a master's program, you will be reduced to having a 3 years training contract, as opposed to an undergraduate, somebody that's coming out with a degree, they have to do a 3.5-year training contract. So really 2 benefits, specific to the accounting profession. Looking at Chartered Accountants Ireland in particular, you only have 2 more exams and you only have a 3-year training contract that you must undertake before you can, get your ACA letters after your name, your Chartered Accountant qualification. You can see some other statistics there that are coming off the recent graduate labour market surveys and the Department of Education surveys. The likes of extra earning potential, 7,000 earned compared to just undergraduates, people with degrees. 21% postgraduates are 21% more likely to be in high skilled employment. So, not only earning potential, but also your ability to climb the career ladder. And then, just increased earning potential, therefore, over the lifetime of your, of your working life. I've just put in this slide here because I know prospective students are, both graduate and like yourselves, postgraduate, are always interested in terms of salaries that are likely. And this is a study that's undertaken by Chartered Accountants Ireland. That's the professional body that I'm qualified under as a chartered accountant. And you can see here, this is a survey, a 2020 survey from their Leinster Society. So this is all the chartered accountants working down in the southeast around Dublin area, and this survey really gives you details of, I suppose, salaries and salary packages. So that would include the likes of benefits in kind, like medical insurance and company cars and things like that. So you can see from this slide, it just gives you an idea, as recent as 2020, the types of salaries that are coming out or that are available to chartered accountants. And I suppose ones that I would like to draw your attention to there, you have the headline figure of nearly 110 grand being the average salary package in the Leinster region. You've got there in there the newly qualified in industry, so that's a chartered accountant that's working out in a business as opposed to working in practice. You've got 5-year post-qualification salary packages. You've got your salary package for a newly qualified accountant there working in all sectors. So that's a newly qualified accountant. So as I said, if you do the master's program, you will only have a 3-year training contract to do and 2 exams. So that would be you in 3 years' time after you've graduated from the master's program, assuming you get your 2 final admitting exams. At that stage, you would be a newly qualified accountant, and the average salary there is 69,000. Sorry, the average salary package is 69,836. So that's the salary package. So that might include benefits, as I said before, the likes of health insurance, car benefit, and maybe even bonus. The basic salary you can see there is around 62,000. But I suppose importantly, you can see the percentage statistics in terms of the promotional prospects if you're a chartered accountant, as well as pay rise prospects. And then a real key one, given the recent COVID pandemic, is that 95% remained in full-time employment permanently in 2020. And that wasn't the case for a lot of professions, a lot of industries, a lot of people, whose jobs were affected by furlough and things like that. But 95% of accountants, chartered accountants, were permanently employed. So that's just a few reasons, why you should think about studying international accounting with analytics. So what sets our course apart from other universities? Because obviously, you have a choice of different universities to go to for different master's programs. Well, the International Accounting with Analytics on the McGee campus of Ulster University offers ACCA exemptions as well as Chartered Accountants Ireland exemptions. Okay, so if we're becoming a chartered certified accountant or becoming a chartered accountant. In terms of the staff, I already touched on that. You will be taught by qualified accountants. You'll be taught by accountants that are currently working in practice, that are actively involved in taxation, finance and accounting advice. In terms of our teaching facilities, we have brought in special software packages to enable you to get hands-on experience, be that on the data analytics side, or for example, in the likes of your financial accounting module, you'll have access to the accounting software packages that you would be expected to use as soon as you go out into your graduate position, as well as the audit module. We have brought in the audit simulation package so that while you're in the classroom, you're getting the real life experience of carrying out an audit on a company. In terms of the analytics element of the course, well, as I said before, this is a really key, unique element that we have on the McGee campus. It's on the McGee campus, and we're including it within the International Accounting Masters because we have the expertise, and we want to pass that expertise on to you because your employers, your graduate employers, want you to be able to use analytics tools. Because they're becoming so important for a professionally qualified accountant to be able to use analytics tools, to be able to add value to the business that they're working in or to the clients that they're acting for. And the added value that they can that analytics tools and knowledge and understanding of analytics tools can bring is that you'll be able to look at the financial information and you'll be able to use the analytics to give valuable insights into how maybe a business can improve its processes, how it can reduce its costs, increase its efficiency, and importantly, you can identify areas of risk using analytics tools so that you can advise on how to better manage exposure to risk. Okay, so that's really some of the reasons why you should consider studying the MSc International Accounting with Analytics at Ulster University. So now I just want to go on to, well, what exactly will you be learning while you're on the programme? So there's some key skills that employers fed back to us that they want you to be able to graduate possessing. So things like problem-solving skills, obviously in the key areas that will be within the modules in the degree, the likes of your financial and management accounting, your auditing knowledge, and your taxation and finance knowledge. They want you to have software skills, key Excel skills, not just basic Excel skills, but advanced Excel skills, in addition to knowledge with regard to the accounting software packages, such as Sage, and then the use of analytics tools and data visualization tools, such as Power BI, and I'll talk about SPSS in a minute. You'll learn more communication skills. You'll be working as a team, so teamwork skills will be developed, as well as your presentation skills. And then your leadership skills, and you'll see that we've got a leadership strategy module at the core of the master's programme, because this is seen as a very, very important function within any business or accounting format. So just in terms of the modes of study that, the ways that you can learn, you have got part-time and full-time options of the MSc International Accounting with Analytics, and you've got flexible study levels as well. You've got flexible exit points, being a postgraduate certificate, a postgraduate diploma. And then if you go on to complete your summer modules, your thesis, your dissertation, or the applied project, you can get your MSc, that master's. And I'll talk to you a bit more now about those different learning modes and the flexibility levels as we go through the slides. So if you're undertaking, so this slide now is looking at the full-time option, okay? So if you're going to come on board now in September 2021, say, and you're undertaking the full-time MSc in International Accounting with Analytics, then in semester 1, which runs from the last week in September up until mid-December, you will do 4 modules. In semester 2, which runs from the end of January up until the start of May, you will do a further 4 modules. And then over the summer, in semester 3, so that runs from the end of June right up to the end of August, you will undertake a research skills module, and you will also have a dissertation or applied project to undertake. So that is how the 1-year programme is spread over 3 semesters. So just to give you a little more detail on what types of subjects you will be studying on the full-time programme, that is over just 1 year, and that is 3 semesters. So you can see semester 1, you'll be doing your audit, you'll be doing taxation, you'll be doing financial accounting, financial reporting, and you will also be undertaking that key data analytics for finance professionals module. Okay, so that's a key module that you'll be taking there to, I suppose, get introduced to the whole area of analytics and analytics tools. In terms of then, when it comes to the end of semester 1, you will have some assessments, obviously, to submit for your 4 modules. If you've passed those 4 modules in semester 1, then you will be entitled to a postgraduate certificate. And that's what I mean by the flexibility of the exit route. So you could, if something happens, some personal circumstances, and you have to leave the programme and maybe park it for a while, then at least you can leave after the first semester with a postgraduate certificate, which is a recognised qualification. But hopefully you'll be able to stay on and come into semester 2. And in semester 2 then, which runs from the end of January to the start of May every year, you will be doing your Strategic Leadership for International Accounting module, and that's a key module for the ACCA qualification as well as Chartered. You'll be doing Finance and Management Accounting, and then you'll be looking at international corporate reporting and tax planning. So you'll be looking at international, financial reporting as well as international tax planning for corporate entities, so for companies. So by the time it comes to May 2022, say you come on board on the MSc program in September 2021, by the time you get to May 2022, if you pass your 4 semester 2 modules, then you will be entitled to a postgraduate diploma. And it's worth noting that it's that postgraduate diploma that gets you the CAP 2 exemptions from Chartered Accountants Ireland. Okay, and some people decide not to go on then and do the MSc in semester 3, because some people will decide that they're happy enough just to take the postgraduate diploma and the exemptions from the professional bodies that attach to that postgraduate diploma. If you decide that you're going to keep going, and over semester 3, which runs from June, say 2022, right up to the end of August 2022, you're going to undertake a research methods module, which will help you get ready and give you insight into doing either a dissertation or an applied research project. And that dissertation or the applied research project will be done over the summer months. So by the time it comes to early September, you will be able to graduate with an MSc International Accounting with Analytics. And it's worth noting that that dissertation or that applied research project module is an 8,000 word document that you have to put together. But as I say, in semester 3, you will first be given a module on research methods that will show you or encourage and show you how to go out and do a substantial piece of research. So now moving on to the part-time option, okay? So the MSc can be complete in 2 years on a part-time basis. And really the modules are all going to be exactly the same, for the MSc International Accounting with Analytics. It's just that they're split out over 2 years. So you can see you've got year 1, semester 1, 2 modules, year 1, semester 2, 2 modules, and then year 1, semester 3, you will do your research skills module. Then you'll come into year 2, and in semester 1 you'll do your other 2 semester 1 modules, and so on and so forth. And by the time it comes to year 2, semester 3, that's whenever you'll be actually starting to write up your dissertation or your applied research project. And as I say, that's an 8,000 word document, and you'll get plenty of guidance, and you'll have a supervisor allocated to you to enable you to do. So this is just to, I suppose, just lay it out for you in terms of the modules. You would, if you are on the part-time program, you will just be sitting in the same modules at the same times as the full-time students. It's just that you are splitting yours out over a longer time frame, over a 2 year period. So you can just see here the same modules being covered, but you can see year 1 and year 2. Okay, so having looked at why study the International Accounting with Analytics and looking at what you will learn, what we now want to look at is, well, how are you actually going to be taught all these things that you're going to be learning? So what's the practical application now for the MSc? How are you going to learn all these different modules? And really, you're going to be taught via lectures, there'll be seminars, and importantly, there'll be a lot of practical workshops, because a lot of the modules that you will be doing will be very practical in nature. For example, the financial accounting modules, your taxation modules, your finance modules, even your audit and insurance, they'll be very practical. So we'll be doing more practical workshops on campus, hopefully come September 2021. Not only will you be taught by the experts in the university, as I said already, qualified accountants and researchers and readers in business analytics, but we will also use our contacts and networks to bring in guest lecturers from industry, as well as employers, to try and give you insights into what's actually happening out in the real world as you're learning. You'll be also getting practical application of the important software packages that you need to be able to use, and indeed that employers have told us that they want graduates to be able to hit the ground running with. So things like advanced Excel, things like Power BI, Sage, the accounting package software, and IBM SPSS, which is really a statistical techniques package. So you will be getting practical learning in software elements. You'll also get support, with regard to your learning from your course director, which will be myself, and your lecturers. But there will also be, lots of study aids available in the online learning environment, Blackboard Learn, as well as our library. We'll have lots of resources that will help you through the master's programme, and indeed, especially when it comes to your assignments, as well as your dissertation or your research project. In terms of how you'll be taught, there's an aim now for us to be back on campus in September 2021. So if you're coming on board in September 2021 and you're a full-time student, then the aim is to have you on campus just 2 days per week. If you're a part-time student, then the aim will be to have you on campus 1 day per week. In terms of, I've already said you're going to be taught via lectures and workshops, seminars, tutorials. So how are they going to be split out? Well, lectures will usually be 2 hours per week per module, and that will be flipped classroom. And flipped classroom basically means that the recordings will be made available prior to your tutorial or your workshop on campus. So you will view the recordings in your leisure at your own time at home, and you will then come onto campus for the 3 hours per week per module workshops, seminars, or tutorials. So you can imagine if you are a full-time student, I said that you were going to be doing 4 modules per semester. So you would have 8 hours of lecture recordings on a flipped classroom basis to listen to before coming to your weekly workshops or your tutorials or seminars. And they're going to be 3 hours per week per module. And if you've got 4 modules, then that means 12 hours of on-campus workshops, practical workshops for you to come to. And that's how a full-time student, it's aimed that the full-time student will be only 2 days on campus. So you'll be doing roughly 6 hours per day. A 3-hour workshop, an hour break, and then a 3-hour workshop. Okay, so that was just a brief introduction to the teaching side of things. Now to look at assessment. So obviously for your modules, there's 10 modules throughout the master's degree. So for each of those modules, you're going to have to be assessed in some way. Some modules will have a group project. I think there's only one module that has the group project, the strategy module. There's plenty of employer-led projects for you to be submitting, so employers will come in and help with the assessment. Importantly, because this is a professionally accredited program, a lot of the modules that are professionally accredited by the professional accountancy bodies will require that 75% of the module is examined by way of an exam, and 25% will be examined by way of coursework during the semester. Okay, so a lot of modules will have that. And I'm just going to go through the different modules here, just try to give you a flavour here on this slide of the types of assessment. So you can see the key there at the top of this slide. We've got in the dark purple is the modules that are assessed 100% coursework. So they'd be big assignments. For example, there the data analytics for finance professional module there in semester 1. That module will be looking at you being able to clean data, merge data, protect data, and manage it. So you'll be using Excel, IBM SPSS, you'll be using Power BI in that module. So really the outcome or the requirement for the 100% coursework for that data analytics for finance professionals module, it's highlighted in purple there in semester 1. You will be required to put together a visualization dashboard, and then you will be looking to put together a business intelligence report based on live data that you have cleaned, merged, protected, managed, and put into a reasonable way for it to be presented. So that's 100% coursework. You can see in semester 2, you've got another module, the Strategic Leadership and International Accounting module. That's 100% coursework, as well as the 2 semester 3 modules, that is your research methods and the dissertation or the applied project. They're the only modules that are 100% coursework assessed. All the other modules that are highlighted in grey are all relating to the professional body exemption modules, and therefore they will be assessed 25% coursework during the semester. And then for the 3 semester 1 modules, the audit, the taxation and the financial reporting, you will have an exam for those that will be worth 75% of the module in January. Say you start in September 2021, you will have 3 exams to do in January 2022. Then in semester 2, you would be doing strategic finance, management accounting, and then that international corporate reporting and tax planning module. They are all 75% exam, 25% coursework. So you'd be sitting the exam for those in May 2022, assuming you can come on board on the programme in September 2021. Okay, so we've looked at what you'll be taught, how you'll be taught. So now I just want to briefly touch on the support that will be available to you if you come to study with us on the Magee campus of Ulster University. And as I said before, we have a very good reputation. Up until now, I have been the course director of the undergraduate accounting programs on the Magee campus of Ulster University. And it's a very key part of my job is to make sure that our students have a very good they have a good learning experience while they're with us, and that will incorporate all things such as open door policy. Students can contact me at any time in terms of via email or by telephone, and hopefully drop into the office now whenever we get back on campus. You will have studies advice provided to you. A big thing and a big benefit of the MSc International Accounting with Analytics on the Magee campus is that it's going to, and that's a real benefit, because you will have you'll have a cohort, yes, that you can work together with and learn from, but you're not going to be sitting in massive lecture theatres with a couple of hundred people. We have various software packages bought in for your usage. So you'll have virtual simulations, you'll have case studies that you'll be required to use the software. There's plenty of library resources available to you, and on the business school at the Magee campus, we've got an excellent librarian that's dedicated to us, who is great and will help you very much so in terms of assignments and indeed your research project or your dissertation. So we've got lots of supports in place and available to you to help you succeed in the master's programme. In terms of then supporting you, we try to make sure that you will have real world experience while you are with us on the Magee campus. Things like industry speakers coming in to talk to you, both within your lectures, as well as you being invited to professional events that are happening on the campus. And you can see here on this slide a picture of an ACCA event that our students were all invited to. And at this ACCA event, we had Chris Dowling from SAGE, we had Mark Redmond, who's the Chief Executive Officer of the American Chamber of Commerce, we had Anthony Harbison, who is the Director of Safer Communities, and we also had Dr. Sandra Moffat, who is the Head of Department in Magee for the Business School, and she is also a reader in business analytics. So key people at the forefront of the profession, as well as research in terms of what you're going to be learning on the programme. And I suppose it's important that you get access to all these real life or real world experiences while you're studying. Not only do you have the guest lectures and the invitations to events that are happening that are industry relevant, but we also bring in industry and local accountancy practices in to help with the assessment of your modules. So for example, the tax assessment for your 2 taxation modules, which one in semester 1 and one in semester 2, will be linked to a local accountancy practice. And that's really where local employers are trying to get access to you as our graduates as early as possible. So they're coming in and they're feeding into the assessment and the marking of that as well. The analytics module will have key live data sets that you'll be using to prepare your visual dashboard and your business intelligence reports. You will have various data analytics tools embedded throughout many of the modules, your financial, your tax, your audit, and your finance modules. And then I suppose at the end of the day, if you're going on to do the MSc element of the course, you will also be able to do your applied project to any business that you wish to focus on. So you can either do a dissertation or the applied research project. And a lot of students tend to go down the applied research project because they can give some something back to maybe a graduate work employer or maybe a placement employer that they've already been with. Okay, so whenever you finish the MSc program, you will be in high demand because you will have gained technical skills as well as professional skills that employers want. You will have completed a professionally accredited program. You will have gained practical experience. You'll have all the skills that I talked about, including the key analytic skills as well as the exemptions from the professional bodies. You will have built up a network as you have gone through the master's program. I know personally, I'm still in contact with many of the students that I studied with and have come across them in my professional career. I know that I studied with on the master's program whenever I did it, as I say, 20 years ago. So you'll have gained a lot of technical skills and a lot of professional skills, be that around your problem solving, your creativity, your analytics skills, and indeed your ability to work as a team member and communicate your ideas. So all key skills that will be built upon throughout the MSc program. And there's no denying it that a lot of the students that will come on to the MSc International Accounting with Analytics program will be coming on with the aim of becoming a professionally qualified accountant, be that a chartered accountant or a chartered certified accountant or a chartered institute of management accountant. But really, once you then qualify as a qualified, you get your professional exams post-qualification, then the amount of career opportunities that will be open to you, as well as the employability prospects, the promotional prospects, and the earning capacity, they will all be there for you across lots of different industries and lots of different jobs. Because if you think about it, professionally qualified accountants are needed in every type of profit-making organisation and indeed a not-profit-making organisation, and within the likes of the government or the civil service sector as well. So now just talking about applying to Ulster University and indeed to the MSc International Accounting with Analytics, you'll see that the course is live there on the website, the full-time and the part-time options. So if you go on to ulster.ac.uk, you'll find and you just search for International Accounting with Analytics, you'll come up with the part-time and the full-time option. There isn't really any closing date apart from the fact that we're due to start teaching on the program at the end of September. So you'd want to have your application processed and all your registrations done prior to that. And usually registrations happen around mid-September. So, I would advise you to apply early. All applications will come to myself, and then I'll reach out to you as the applicant just to make sure, that you're good to go and ready to gain access to the program. In terms of the cost of the program, this professionally accredited program is pitched at $7,760 for the 2021-2022 academic year. There are flexible payment options available, and if you are an alumni of the university, you can get a 10% discount, and if you're going to pay up front, then you can get a 5% discount. And obviously, just make a note there that the student finance is available for loans of up to $5,500 to fund your postgraduate study as well. So as I've already said, the aim is, in accordance with the public health guidance and what the Northern Ireland Executive has said, and as well as our Vice Chancellor, we are aiming to be back on campus for September 2021. And as I said, if you're coming on board as a full-time student, the aim is to have you in just 2 days per week. And that's then so that you can use the other 3 working days per week to catch up on the flipped classroom, the lecture recordings, as well as maybe hold down a part-time job or something, you know, that you need to help you fund your postgraduate studies with us. And then finally, I'm just giving you my contact details here. As I said at the outset, my name is Claire Scott McAteer. I'm a lecturer on the Magee campus, and I am, you know, available for any questions at all that you have. Just send me an email or give me a shout there on my office number. That will come through to my computer here, and I'll be happy to answer any questions at all that you have. Okay, so that now brings us to the end of the presentation. So if you have any questions that spring to mind now, please pop them into the chat function and I'll be very happy to answer them. Or if you want to put on your mic, feel free to put on your mic and you can ask me any questions that you have. Or alternatively, just send me an email or get in touch with me at any stage and I will help you out with any questions that you have with regard to coming on to the MSc International Accounting with Analytics. Okay, so thank you for your attention and hopefully that answered some of the questions that you have around the potential studying with us on the Magee campus.